Hello YouTube, this is just a follow-up video to the one I made the other day regarding the magnitude 7.6 earthquake on the Kermadec Islands, and of course was a 7.676. And what I was trying to show was apart from just the Elenin Mercury Sun alignment, which we can see on the JPL orbit diagram here, there's actually a possibility of a Elenin Moon Earth alignment. And because the Moon has more influence over the Earth than Mercury does, I thought that might be a more significant alignment. And the theory behind this is actually if Elenin is some sort of magnetic phenomenon coming through our solar system, perhaps the Moon is acting like a magnetic lens above the planet and causing disturbances in the plates and in weather and all the other phenomena we're having, such as geological events and volcanoes and earthquakes. Okay, so we can't tell that from this orbit diagram, so I went to Stellarium, which is a free planetarium software you can download for your computer. So I downloaded that and installed it. I then went to the Orbital Elements page on the IAU Minor Planet Center's website, and there's a link here where you can actually download it in what's called MPC format, which you can then import directly into Stellarium. And we've got Stellarium up here, and I'll just quickly import the latest MPC data for Elenin, and you do that by going to Solar System Editor, Plugins, Solar System Editor, Configure. Okay, I've already got it in there, but I'll add it in again. Import Orbital Elements. Okay, we're talking about a comet. We're going to download a list from the internet. Okay, we'll paste that in there and we'll add it to our bookmarks, and then we'll get orbital elements, and there we have it. There's Elenin there. Check that and add objects. Okay, so that's that done. And the other thing I actually did is I set up our location, which is done on this page here. Look at that location window. Okay, I made a special location here, which is actually Kermadec Islands, which is just north of New Zealand, northeast of New Zealand. Okay, so I've added our location in there and selected that as Kermadec Islands. And one more thing on the configuration window, which is here, under plugins is also time zone. Okay, so I configured that to show us as UTC time, and so now the clock down here is actually showing us UTC time, and that just makes it easier to show where planet alignments are relative to the location we are on the Earth, observing from the Earth. Okay, and then we've set ourselves up at Kermadec Islands. So this is what we're looking at here, and as you see, there is an alignment between Elenin and the Moon. However, the date is actually the 5th. This is the approximate time of the earthquake, 24 hours before the earthquake actually. If we move it on to the 6th, you see the Moon's actually moved away. If we put that into perspective, let's go back. Let's go back. Okay, the Moon was close to the Sun on the 1st, and it's moving, it's close to Mercury, and it's on our way towards coming in line with the Elenin, and on the 5th it's in line with Elenin, and now it's just past Elenin on the 6th. So it's actually quite close to the alignment, but it's not quite what I was expecting, because if we look at the landscape, and you'll see I've actually got the ground switched off. We switch on the ground, which I've got set as an ocean, we'll see that we're actually looking into the sea. So what does that mean? That means that Elenin and the Moon were actually below the horizon at that time, and at that time in the morning local time was about 7 AM, so the Moon actually hadn't risen at that stage. So it's possible that the alignment had caused a disturbance the day before, and then by the time the Moon reached the opposite side of the planet, the influence that it had on that part of the plate, or perhaps a different plate, triggered to release all that energy. But it was a major earthquake. It was not small by any stretch of the imagination. It was I said 4 hours, but it actually looks like it's more than 4 hours. Here it is on the Kermadec Islands seismic monitor, and by 12 o'clock you can see it's still, you know, we've still got this major seismic event, and this has occurred all around the world. It wasn't just on the Kermadec Islands, and it wasn't really until 1 AM, maybe 1:30 AM, that you can actually see some sort of stability coming in. And actually I've got a later graph that I've got here, and you can see, yeah, perhaps about 1:30 things started to stabilize a bit. Okay, we can compare that to the earthquake we had the other day, which is in Japan just yesterday, and you see this is a 7.0 and definitely a much smaller event. Okay, this is also taking it from the Comet Islands, but I could actually take it from one of the Japan. So we're looking for the Majo seismic monitor, and let's have a look here. Majo, as you can see, I keep track of these things. Okay, so during the Kermadec Islands quake, which you can see here, this is in Japan, how it registered in Japan. It was quite significant. So as you see, Japan's a bit further away, so it's like 15 minutes past that this earth wobble, or whatever you like to call it, started to occur. And it also went on to about 1:30 AM perhaps. It's hard to tell exactly. Okay, but if we go on to the to the Japan quake that happened the other day. Okay, here it is here. It's as rich as it's a 7.0. It's nowhere as significant. It perhaps went on for, let me see, it looks like it went on for 1, 2, maybe 3.5 hours. Okay, it was, but the motion and or the amount of movement was actually significantly less than what we see for the Kermadec Islands one. So the Kermadec Islands was definitely a major one, which is it here. Okay, so whether it was to do with the moon alignment with Comet Elenin, I'm not too sure. I don't think we've got enough information yet to say so, but it certainly is interesting. And if we just click through here, going back in time, you can see the moon is passing around Elenin, and then it's back off on the 5th. So we go forwards in time. Yes, it was a close alignment, but it wasn't perfect. But it's still of significance for that 7676 event. Okay, thank you for watching.